Hi everybody, it's Chris Prue with another virtual meeting. This time we are with Bernadette Donohue of Badger Realty, and we're talking the state of real estate and the business of real estate right now. Thanks for joining us, Bernie, over this Zoom meeting.
Thanks, Chris.
It's again, we had planned to do some of these virtual meetings from our studio, but things are changing regularly, and so we're adapting, as is the real estate industry. Tell us a little bit about how you guys are dealing with this crisis.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, Badger Realty is adapting along with everybody else in the world, and it certainly is a world crisis. We're all praying and hoping for safety and wellness for everybody, and the real estate industry is doing their best to keep that in the forefront of everybody's mind. Our business right now is about serving, and it always has been, but even more so, we need to serve in a healthy way so that people feel comfortable. And we are following the CDC guidelines. We are, as an office, not open to foot traffic. Part of that was an order from the state of New Hampshire, but also the state of Maine. And for the safety of, not only the sellers, the buyers, but the public and our staff. So we're closed to foot traffic, but we are open for business. We're working out of our home. There's no place like home, so that
looks
goes
very comfortable. The fire in the background. This is a fireside chat with Bernadette Donohue of Badger Realty.
So we're all trying to make do with a little bit of a different office look and environment, and but Badger Realty is really also about spreading hope. We want people to know that this too will pass, and we will put ourselves on pause for a little while, but the mountains will still be there. The housing market will still be there, and we strongly feel that way.
Yes, and if you drive through North Conway Village right now, or even if you look at we have a live cam, a White Mountains .tv live cam, you might be able to see in the distance the green lights on in the village, and that is a Badger initiative to remind everybody of the hope that we are going to get through this time. So beautiful.
Yes, very much so. And I love driving through the town and seeing all the lights on, because that is our community and our community spirit. So, and we're right in the heart of North Conway too. So our office is certainly one of many that is sharing and shedding that hope. But, I think there's so many different things you can do in the real estate business that don't require you to be in an office, that I don't see that our business has stopped by any means. We still have buyers buying, sellers selling. There's things that we are doing very differently. We're not doing open houses right now. We're doing virtual open houses. We're coaching our sellers to decide whether they want to show their homes or not. It's really their choice, and safety first, of course. I mean, if they've got kids at home and pets and they're homeschooling and they don't want to, or they don't feel comfortable or safe, that's perfectly fine. We may make an arrangement to do a video tour of the home so we can share that online. That's another nice feature, that's happened. And buyers, there's a lot of things buyers can do driving by properties. They certainly at home can get on virtual messaging, or they can call their lender. They can start lining up their paperwork that they need to do for pre-approval. Everything is online now, photos and virtual tours, so they can pretty much shop to their heart's content. And if the property is not available to show, and a lot of owners are deciding to put that on hold, they can certainly try to be first in line when it does come available by driving by and making sure it meets their needs. They can do a lot of due diligence, looking up the deed and finding out what the neighborhood is like, and making their decisions, narrowing those decisions down. So,
and if you're just getting into the buyer's market, this is it's probably one of the easier ways to get into it, is because you can browse everything virtually at badgerrealty.com, even research the different communities in the area. So this is kind of a time, if you're not in too much of a rush, where you can actually sit down and do that due diligence. And then if you are a seller, and again, if you have some time, spring and summer is one of the most popular times for listing. People could be taking this time to really get their house ready for sale. What's some of your advice in terms of getting your house ready?
Yeah, absolutely. The snow is still around some properties, and it doesn't take a great picture when you still have brown and snow. So mud season is traditionally a time that people are getting ready. We do see an influx of houses come on the market, but oftentimes it's later in the spring when we start to see flowers come and grass. So you really haven't missed a lot. And it is a time to start looking both at the inside and the outside, whereas in the wintertime, we were encouraging people to think about what they could do inside. Now it's time to start sprucing up the outside as well, keeping yourself busy and really making the house shine. Cleanliness is huge. Starting to get rid of things, even if you have to put them all in the garage for now, if you're serious about selling, it's a seriously good time to be home and get projects done that you weren't really able to do before if you were traveling and commuting or to the office more often than not, which can be good and bad because there's an awful lot of house projects you can be doing instead of work. So, you have to find a balance there. But if you're serious about selling, there's a lot of prep work you can do in anticipation of those showings coming soon. And I just would strongly encourage people to realize that I don't think we're going to see a housing crisis like we did in 2008. We've already seen the federal government and the banks putting money towards relief and forbearance. And if you are somebody who needs help with your mortgage payment and you haven't called your mortgage loan officer yet, you might want to do that because all of the banks I know are putting together packages to help people out. And in that sense, nobody wants the pain to double. Nobody wants this fear and this virus to spill into a financial crisis. And nobody wants it to be a housing crisis. Housing is too important. Housing matters not just to the people who are buying and selling, but to all those people involved, not just in the transaction, like, house appraisers and home inspectors and lenders and title companies and attorneys, but how about carpet salesmen and roofers and, people who are going to do your lawn care and people who are, going to sell you carpet and furniture. And, there's a huge economy attached to housing and nobody wants to see that fall.
Absolutely not. We're talking with Bernadette Donohue, our real estate expert from Badger Realty. Bernie, anything else you want to touch on before we say goodbye?
Well, thanks for asking. I just think we really need to see the bigger picture here, know that interest rates are very low. Look at things as an opportunity, maybe.
Yep.
In the middle of any crisis, there's always some opportunities. And we've been presented with an economy right now where you could take advantage of a really low interest rate. And that's something people can do to help themselves, either in a purchase or in a refinance situation. We may even see that housing changes. It wasn't always that bigger was better. And maybe now people are going to start rethinking, hey, do I need 2 offices? One for me, one for, my husband? Do I need an extra place for the kids so they can kind of get out of our space while we're working from home? I think working from home might become more popular.
Yep.
And also maybe vacationing closer to home might become more popular. We may see people decide, instead of taking a cruise, I'm going to find a place in the Mount Washington Valley so that I can drive to it, and I think we're going to see it's a healthy turnaround. It'll take a while. So stay hopeful, do all the things you can do to get yourself ready for when the pause button is lifted. And, we'll all be there then, but we're here now to serve you as well. So with whatever capacity we can, not only Badger Realty, but the White Mountain Board of Realtors, we're here to serve.
All right. And if you'd like to contact Bernadette or any of the realtors at Badger directly to start these discussions, because sometimes it's so much easier just to sit one-on-one. Maybe it's a phone conversation, or maybe even it's a Zoom meeting these days. Sit one-on-one and discuss your personal situation, go over what your needs are, what your wants are, and have an expert really kind of fine-tune a plan to help you accomplish your goals. So how can people contact you, Bernie, if they want to get more information?
Sure. Well, I have a great Facebook page as well, and you can put that number up if you want to, but it's Bernie at badgerrealty.com, and my cell phone number is also provided. But I just wanted to tell people to stay smart, stay safe, and stay well, because that's the most important thing.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, Bernie. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe.
too.